Hello, my beautiful Sagittarius family. I am more than excited to sit with you here for our October 2021 discussion. The message that came through was so beautiful. And I came into the readings this month just really sensitive. I'm going through such a huge chapter of change in my life. It is so powerful, and every week has a different feel to me. And this week I am just super emotional, but the message that came through, so we're working with all this energy in Libra this month. We've got a new moon in Libra, the sun moving through Libra, Mercury retrograde moving through Libra, and Mars moving through Libra. This is 11th house, communal, beautiful energy. And then energy starts to move into Scorpio, where it's all about the spiritual. And this message came up for me. I'm actually just going to read it from my notes over here that I have to my side here to bring into the conversation, because it just felt really appropriate. So here we go. Remember how it felt to work purely with spirit, from the inside out, from that quiet inner knowing self that needs no recognition or external validation to be in joy. Taking action slowly and with purpose, allowing dreams to unfold and speak and show, simplifying in order to see with clarity. As we begin heading into the weeks before Sagittarius season, there is a return occurring, a return to the energies essential to a Sagittarian ways of being. A return to the philosophical playfulness of deconstructing and reconstructing the world all over again. And just thinking about this makes me so happy, because here's the thing I was realizing as this note came to me and as I was feeling through this season, which by the way, this month as well, your ruling planet Jupiter over in Aquarius is going direct, as well as Saturn, as well as Pluto. And the Mercury retrograde will go direct on the 18th. So there's a lot of forward motion happening by the time we hit Scorpio season. But as I was sitting with your energy, I was realizing something about Sag energy in general and the way that I've seen it experienced so many times. While Sag in pop astrology is often about being like very outgoing and loud and blunt and all of those things, what I've realized about like when you really get to know Sag energy and you hang out with other Sages, there is this desire for quiet recharge and reflection that goes really, really deep. It's that philosophical part of going deep inside and deconstructing and reconstructing the world from this visual and visionary place. And it isn't about the external performance. It isn't about that fun, playful, bring the mood up of everybody around the Sag place, but from this other philosophical place. And I noticed this month that one of the big things that's going to be happening is that working from that place of spirit, working from the inside out, working from this place of self-trust and really honoring that connection you have to it is going to bring back to life some of the Sagittarian ways of being, like I mentioned, because I'm also excited to report, we're getting down here to the last degrees of the South Node in Sagittarius. And I think I bring it up like every month, like I'm secretly low-key in the back of my mind, kind of keeping the fact that when we start 2022, we're going to have the South Node out of Sagittarius. That feels really exciting to me. I've missed this energy leading the way. I know it's important for all of us to take a break from each energy as it goes, but returning to it feels so right for me. And the thing is that knowing, that sense of spirit from within, I just feel like Knight of Pentacles. That's really interesting. This is the observer. This is the quiet observer. Takes his time to observe. I just feel like your path is going to get a lot clearer this month. If it has felt kind of muddled for a while, right? It's felt a little muddled, a little confusing. There's been a lot of odds and ends and bits and bobs and parts and here and there. And what's this? Eight of Pentacles. I think this month there's going to be a deeper cohesiveness going on. Also, apparently, you're going to be working at a craft. You're going to be working at crafting something that means something deep and powerful to you. And I love reading that into the cards here, because this can look like so many things, whether it's a new skill set or a skill set you've been working on, the craft, or multiple ones, right? That's the Sag way, to have like 5 projects on the plate. Focusing in on a craft, allowing yourself the space to focus on that art, on that practice, on that interest, on that idea. Giving it sacred space within the week. Now, I'm going to get more into those cards in a moment, but I'm also going to pull this month from my Oracle of the Hidden Worlds deck that I've just recently received. This is such a beautiful deck, and it really adds a different flavor to our conversation, a different way. The Path of the Gods, just low-key being awesome for Sages. So this Oracle deck is really beautiful. It reconnects us to more of that hidden world. And the key words for the Path of the Gods is decisions, meetings, and future plans. So like I said, right when I was just saying about the odds and ends and the bits and the bobs and maybe feeling about a bit gobbledygook at times, how do I put this all together? What is this going to look like? That card, that Oracle card, has to do with things coming together, with things coming full circle, with things being understood, with connections being made that have been desired or longed for, with answers being brought in and heralded in, with those creative partnerships and ideas showing up. So this has a lot to do with your creative soul and the creativity that you bring to the world that you are in. And that doesn't just have to be in literally creating art or whatever. This can be the creativity you delve into in your partnerships as well. Like, partnerships are a deeply creative space. How we approach partnership, how we approach conversation and connection is extremely creative, because it requires being curious about this other being and ourselves and all these things that are going on. Creativity shows up in the way that we love. It shows up in the way that we make things. It shows up in the way that we walk down the street. It shows up everywhere. So wherever you are longing for the creative spirit to join you, the creative clarity to join you, focus in on that right now as we're sitting here and think about it. So let's talk about these cards first. We'll talk about our tarot reading, and then we'll get into the Oracle card. So Knight of Pentacles sometimes gets a bad rap, but for me, this card is so powerful. Whenever he shows up, it's like a reminder that sitting, observing, and listening in is so potent. It allows us, when we are taking action, to take actions that are actually meaningful for us, that are actually effective, rather than running around burning the candle at both ends, right? And then running out of fuel, to honor saving our energy regularly. Not only saving it, but turning it towards our inner motor, turning it towards how things are moving in here, and allowing that to speak to us. And that is what Knight of Pentacles is really good at. Because when he moves, it's going to be with focus, with determination, with devotion, right? So there's a reminder here, Sag, not to feel that you have to put everything on your plate, but that you can be very impactful in your life by being observant. Now, we also have 8 of Pentacles, which is the other part of this. And this is just showing up and starting to do the thing, right? Not saying it's going to be more comfortable, easier, better, 10 years from now, next week, tomorrow morning. The 8 of Pentacles remind us that if we just show up to that craft, to that moment, to that conversation, to that experience, to that skill set, and we keep doing that in little ways every day, we are going to notice this huge volume of shift happening. And this card is a good omen in so many ways, because this is also saying that you've already amassed a lot of skills. And so what's important here is to show up, keep showing up, keep going, because there's something worthwhile here. There's something worth your attention here. There's something worth building here. There's something that even if the last few years have felt like you have gone backwards 100 times and you don't even know what the things are anymore, that's not actually the case. Things have been coming together, and that's where we're going to get into this Path of the Gods Oracle card. As you can see, there's a meeting of two very angelic beings here in this beautiful meadow, with these beautiful hills and temples in the background. This is a meeting point of things that seemed disparate, things that seemed out of reach, things that seemed not to be connecting. And I know in this Sag family, we all love some good synchronicity. We love some good connective tissue in the world, because this is a philosophical family. We want to see the way that the world is communing and conversing and talking, because it is so alive. Have you ever noticed? Have you ever just sat out and noticed how alive this world is? Because we take it for granted a lot as humans. We're just, well, oh yeah. If you take 5 minutes to sit somewhere and notice how alive everything is, it is mind blowing. Anyway, I'm digressing. I'm in an interesting mood today, my friends. I really am. My point here being that these cards are speaking to things coming together, to that feeling of something making sense after a long time of it feeling perhaps fractured or confusing or circular or uncertain. And isn't that an interesting message? Because we're taught that a season with like Mercury retrograde and outer planet retrogrades is a time of confusion. It's a time of self-doubt. It's a time where we should fear our decision-making, fear communication. I don't believe that. I think this is a time of deep internal truth. And we get uncomfortable with that, right? Because sometimes that can be scary. And so sometimes we resist that a little bit. But in your case, these are very supportive energies. This is not about blowing the lid off of something or destroying something or going through some kind of caustic burning down ritual to see clearly. This is about something that's been building for a long time and is coming to culmination. And this isn't to say that October is going to do all the culminating work and you're just going to be done and dusted, because that's life. Life never is just done, right? We always have more culminating ahead. But I'm noticing there is this sense of culmination that I do feel at like a bone deep level for the rest of 2021 is going to continue. You're going to continue to feel more and more of that culmination happening. And this is a powerful time. This is a powerful time for that. This is a time of really deep support for you. Watch as these pieces come together. You're going to notice it happening. And one big thing I'm saying for this month in general, allow yourself to see it. Because we shut ourselves off so often. Wanting to be practical, wanting not to be overly hopeful, overly optimistic, not wanting to hurt ourselves on being receptive. And I would say, especially after this last year and a half, it's so important to practice receptivity mode. It sounds so simple, it sounds so basic, it sounds like something we've heard a million times in our discussions and just in general in this work. But basics are there for a reason. And in this case, let yourself have the connective, philosophical, beautiful tissue of this world. It's not even tissue. That's such a weird word to use. Energies, fibers, threads, conversations, connection points, echoes, whatever you want to say. Let yourself have it. Let yourself have it. That's it. I'm going to be doing my deep dive on Mercury retrograde over on Patreon. We're going to be doing the worksheets. We're going to be doing the chats. We're going to be going through it together. So if you're looking for some extra guidance during this very powerful last few months of the year, I would love to see you there. But I would also love to hear from you in the comments about how this time of year is feeling, how South Node in Sagittarius has been feeling, all of it. So please like, subscribe, comment, hang out. I'd love to see you. You can find me on my Instagram at Vrba, as well as my website. So I'm going to leave all my links so you know where to find me below. And I will see you, all you beautiful beings, very soon. I love you, Sagittarius family. Have a gorgeous October. Let yourself have it. And I'll talk to you soon.